This is America, the land of the free and the home of the brave. The New World, the land of opportunity, if you will, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter which outdated nickname you choose, because they are all truly meaningless. It is no longer new, it no longer carries opportunities, it is no longer brave, and it is definitely no longer free. It has become fat with lies and corruption, spitting in your face every chance it gets. America has fallen under its own dollar sign spelling casted years ago. We must pay to exist, a lifelong price tag that is expected to be paid before you die. Life is considered the debt you owe to this country. Taxes, heating bills, groceries, gasoline. You have to be a paperboy for 10 years or even steal to put food on the table. So they say you have to go to some overpriced institution to live a good, happy life. But universities don't care about your education. They don't care about your life. They just want that check that you're gonna be in debt for later. And if you don't go to college, people consider you a lowlife, a fucking bum. They become fortune tellers all of a sudden and try to predict your future as a janitor or gas station clerk. Stupid fucking people. You think their precious education will actually teach them something. The government forces you to hand over your added minimum wage with taxes and fines, and if you refuse or even simply cannot pay the price, those hours at work become days in the cell. But the real irony is that the suits and ties have no problem punishing you if you can't pay up. But when it's their turn, they won't pay one dime. Hell no. They just rack up $16 trillion and leave an IOU. Society has been bent over backwards, mentally crippled by religious ghost stories and harsh laws passed by people who think they have the right to say what is right and wrong. But they use it to their advantage, always saying they are protecting us, when it's indeed them who are the biggest threat of all. They're trying to take everything threatening away, anything that could possibly get in their way or disrupt the formula of modern living. When something catastrophic happens, whether it be a terrorist attack or a devastating force of nature, they don't blame the individual criminal or accident, but everything else around it. The parents, the guns, the movies, video games. They say it's God's way of letting him know he's still here. So they ban this, illegalize that, tell us that this is unsafe and this is immoral. But if bans and laws stop crime, why do we have prisons? And if freak accidents are the work of God, why are they called freak accidents and not miracles? The government likes to look at itself like it does no wrong. Every move they make is for a good cause, they say. To protect us, to make us feel safe. Every law passed is another scoop of our free will. The damage done to society by bad habits is nothing compared to the damage done by violence committed in the name of the government. And when an actual honest citizen who has had enough decides to kill 168 people with a bomb made from racing fuel and horse shit, he's considered a monster. But when you kill 300,000 plus people with lies and remote control airplanes, you are a two-term president who is revered in many corners of society. Government is the residue of mankind's evil. It's about control, power, greed, and money. Mankind is supposed to be free, but since so many people are unaware of this evil, we treat it like a normal, everyday thing. We let it control us to the point where we are completely dependent on this evil, on this government. This is what it takes, I guess. Human life is the only thing recognizable to anyone. So once it has been taken, people finally start to notice the problem. Death is an attention getter like no other, the best advertising of all. I guess you could say I've always had this plan to hurt a lot of people. Nothing personal, just simple collateral damage. Just to get back at the monkeys who are running this country into the ground. But I never told anyone that I thought like this. They would think you're nuts, cuckoo, just some paranoid shithead. Well, I always thought instead of thinking like that, act like that. But if you get caught acting what I'm thinking, they'll consider you a terrorist. And to be honest, I kinda like the sound of that. Not one drop of remorse runs through my body. No one is innocent. All of these easily led farm animals deserve the fate they receive. They participate in this society, living graciously under the rule of lying thieves they call authority. They just can't process the thought that our own government would be up to such nasty, inhumane things. They choose to play it safe, let the thugs in uniform have control over them. They feel protected when it's the complete opposite. The state is the threat in front of them, and yet they thank them for the service. I can't get my mind off that couple I shot today. I thought it would help me with my plan, but it's made me realize I'm not ready yet. I need more practice. Another test subject. After this time, I'll be ready. The gun is too loud though, so I'm gonna have to play this one quiet.
I didn't really want to go to that because it sounded so like immature. Because all the people.
She's perfect. Just another girl distracted by her cell phone.
Like all the people that
She won't even see it coming.
Fucking, I don't know. Anyways, I don't know. Maybe next weekend we can hang out or something. Alright, I'll see you next weekend then. Bye.
Hey, I saw you had some gun magazines. Just, just out of curiosity, are you selling any guns?
This is the one that my husband carried. He would take it with him everywhere.
Did he ever use it? Like, kill anybody?
Well, he took it to the range a few times, but the only person he ever used it on was himself.
I'm looking for something with a little bit more firepower, you know?
Yeah, he had another one around here somewhere. Yeah, here. Now, here we go.
Seriously, how much do you want for it?
Say, why do you want a gun like that? It's almost as big as you.
Well, with all these mass shootings happening, the government's trying to make them illegal.
If my husband was alive to hear that, he would just shit himself. God rest his soul. What they need to do is stop blaming the guns and start blaming the asses who's using them wrong.
I agree.
Gun like this, sure gonna cost you, that's for sure.
Well, I've had this paper route for quite some time now, and I've saved every penny of it. I'm sure this will cover it.
You've got yourself a deal.
Oh, and I saw that homemade bong outside. You think you can throw that in too? You read an archaic fairy tale and sit next to a stranger every Sunday to make yourself feel better about how you lived your life. It was God who said, "Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal." So the government says, "God forbid us slaves steal and kill. If you do, you get locked the fuck up." But it's perfectly okay for them to do it every day, with no consequences at all. And this is now an age-old story, but it should have been fixed by now. We should have solved this problem. But if capitalism and closed-mindedness still exist on this earth, we will never evolve into our full potential as human beings. So we must cease this at once. Stop this horrible way of life from spreading, from taking over other people's minds. We must grow from selfish, ignorant beings to open-minded, giving individuals. Imagine how much we could thrive as a society if we weren't oppressed and played like chess pieces. People think we need leaders. Well, look where they led us. If we all just pursued our talents and interests, we wouldn't need leaders. We would be our own. Finally, everything is in place. I can't even begin to tell you the amounts of satisfaction and excitement I am experiencing. My plan is coming together. They will know who I am. They will know this face that committed the atrocity in the name of freedom. But I will be condemned, hated, considered a lawless criminal that stood against his country. But again, American irony comes in. As the very men who founded this country were also considered lawless criminals that found flaws in the government that controlled them. To some, well, a very few anyway, they will consider me a hero, a real crime fighter, an honest and brave individual who took a stand against tyranny. The lives I claim will not be government ones, not police officers or senators, not even the president. There will be something more precious to this country, something more collateral. This way the politicians will feel the pain they've caused because death isn't enough of a punishment for them. They deserve worse, and I'm going to give them worse. I'm going to give them the next chapter in American history. The final one. The last one. The end.